Good Saturday morning, everybody. That mountain that you see behind us, you've seen it before in our videos. We feature it a lot in the fall when we do our fall leaf updates. That is Grandfather Mountain, and it's just up on the Blue Ridge Parkway, not far from where we live. It actually is at the point where the counties of Avery, Caldwell, where we live, and Watauga come together. Three counties are shared with, or Grandfather Mountain is shared by three counties. Now, you've seen it in our fall videos, but today we're going to the top. We're actually going to go up there, and the reason we're going to go up there is because April is the month every year they have what's called Dollar Days at Grandfather Mountain. Now what that is if you live in one of the following counties that she's going to read, you get to go up for $5, which is way below the usual admission.
Yes.
And we'll let you know what that is when we get up there and find out ourselves. So anyway, Shaughnessy, read that off to us about Dollar Days.
Okay, so on Dollar Days, it says during the month of April, those who work or live in Allegheny, Ashe, Avery, Caldwell, Mitchell, Watauga, or Wilkes counties, along with their guests traveling in the same vehicle, they get in for $5.
$5. So we thought it was well worth $5. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all a little something. We were going to come up here last year because they've done this for years. The surrounding counties get the discount. And when we looked on the website, our county, Caldwell, was not listed last year. And I thought that was just a misprint. So we called and said, we can still come for that too. And they said, no, we're not offering it to Caldwell residents. And I asked them, I said, part of the mountain is in Caldwell County. In fact, the highest peak is in Caldwell County. So that's all I said about it. I said, I don't understand why we're the ones left out. But anyway, we're in there this year.
So here we go.
Whether that had anything to do with it or not, y'all are welcome. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but Caldwell County is back. So a couple of things about Grandfather Mountain before we go up. There is a nature habitat up there. There are cougars. There used to be a very famous bear called Mildred the bear. She's been deceased. I don't know. I guess they still have bears up there.
They do.
We actually haven't been to the top in a while.
It's been a while, yes.
There is a mile-high swinging bridge up at one point. It connects between two peaks. Now, right there at the swinging bridge, that is known to be one of the windiest places in the United States. I think Mount Washington in New Hampshire is probably the windiest, but Grandfather Mountain very typically and very often gets wind gusts of well over 100 miles an hour up there. I hope it's not that windy today. We've not been up yet, but it is a very, very windy place, one of the windiest in the South. So it's also one of the most rugged mountains in Eastern America. It is also the highest mountain in the Blue Ridge chain at an elevation of 5,946 feet on Callaway Peak. It is not the highest mountain in the state. The Black Mountains to the southwest are higher, and many peaks in the Smokies are higher. But Grandfather Mountain, it sits just under 6,000 feet. What else do they have? They have the nature habitat. They also have Forrest Gump Curve. Now, there's a 5-second clip, I understand, from the movie Forrest Gump. I've not seen the clip, but there's a 5-second clip when he was doing his run that was actually on Grandfather Mountain. Now, Shaughnessy suggested, I used to get told a lot, I don't get it much anymore, that I look like Forrest Gump. I used to get that. I would go in Lowe's or Walmart and somebody would say that.
Tom Hanks, they'd be like, you look just like him.
So Shaughnessy suggested that I try to run up the hill. I'm going to pass on that. So anyway, but we will show you that when we come to it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. A little history about it. Grandfather Mountain was privately owned up until 2008. Now, it was owned by Hugh Morton. He passed away in 2006. In 2008, the state of North Carolina purchased the mountain from the Morton family and made it Grandfather Mountain State Park. So we're going to head right now up to Grandfather Mountain State Park, so go with us. Before we begin our ascent to the top, one thing I do want to mention that I left out in the intro regarding Dollar Days. This is the 28th of April, so that will end on April 30th, but they do it every year. But the one thing that I meant to mention and left out is the fact that you have to get those tickets online. You cannot go up to the gate like you once could and even show ID that you're from one of those counties. You have to order those tickets, pre-order them online, and they give you a slot to come. Our slot is 11 a.m. So we are getting ready now to go up to the mountain to the gate and show our certificate or our, I guess whatever she printed off. I haven't even really looked at it. But we're going to go up Grandfather Mountain and hopefully bring you some good scenery. So we are now here at the entrance of Grandfather Mountain. And here's where you pay your admission ticket to go up. And we're a little bit early, so I don't know if we're going to get to go up before 11 or not. But here they have, it looks like a little charging station if you have one of those. So I guess this is the 10:30 time slot. There's a lot of people still lining up to get up there, and we have the 11 time slot. Now it's going to be cold up there and windy. It's a little bit breezy down here, but once you get between those peaks where the swinging bridge is, you really want to be careful up there because you could fall off, not the bridge itself, but the rock outcroppings after you cross the bridge. But there's some excellent views to be had. Grandfather Mountain has 3 main peaks, McRae Peak, Attic Window, and Callaway Peak, which is the highest point on Grandfather Mountain. So we have actually hiked. If you want to see a video on that, I did it 3 years ago. I think it was the summer of 2022. I actually hiked up Callaway Peak on Grandfather Mountain. Views up there were really good, but again, very windy mountain. So we're just waiting our time to go up it right now. Along the way, there are several pull-offs. We will be utilizing some of those. But this is a very steep and rugged mountain. So there's the first glimpse through the trees of Grandfather Mountain, 2 of the peaks there. Okay, so we have come to the first pull-off and overlook, and we are looking back now. You can actually see that eyesore on top of that mountain over there. That is the Sugar Mountain Resort. And I say that because you can actually see that from Interstate 40, even down where we live. And it sticks out on that mountain like a sore thumb. But I'm going to pan back over here and show you our first view of Grandfather Mountain. And there it is. I want to point out, as opposed to just down the mountain where we live, is that things are just starting to flower up here. If you will notice, most of the trees have either no leaves or just a few, mostly still bare. So there's a little picnic area right here and a little walk through the woods.
We're not drive?
Nah, you don't have to. It's just little picnic tables and stuff. So just so you know, you can bring a picnic if you want to come up here.
Or even at that little pull-off we were just at, had a picnic table.
Oh, did it? I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
There's another little picnic table on the right. We got a pretty intense switchback right here. Here's a very large rock. Are we near the wildlife habitat yet?
I'm not sure.
There's a parking area here. Oh, the split rock. Might as well stop there.
Okay, we'll park.
Alright, so to get to Split Rock, we walk down this little path here off of the road. Over there it's called Sphinx Rock. I guess it's supposed to...
The one is the Sphinx. The one, I guess, is supposed to look like the face of it.
Okay, so there on the left is Split Rock. And that's supposed to be Sphinx Rock, and I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's a different angle. Okay, so we did find the split in Split Rock. What's to stop that thing from like getting hit by lightning or just eventually just cracking and falling over?
Falling on over, yeah.
Yeah. Probably ain't gonna happen. It hadn't happened yet, but I don't think I'm gonna stand into that. I never did actually make the Sphinx out. Did you?
I think it's the profile of it right here where it sticks out.
I guess maybe Chauncey was just pointing out like the nose and mouth right there on the end. So I guess maybe that's kind of a rough. I can kind of see that, I guess, now that I look at it again.
Yeah.
And now that you explained it to me, told me what to look at. Mountain out there with the tower is Grandmother Mountain. And yes, that really is the name of it. And we're on Grandfather Mountain. So I had a lot of information in the intro I was trying to remember. One other thing I forgot to mention, I don't think I mentioned it, is that the name of this mountain, Grandfather Mountain, it's interesting. If you drive up Highway 105 out of Boone up towards here, it actually, the profile of the mountain from that angle does resemble a grandfather laying down. You can actually make out the forehead, the nose, the mouth, the lips, and the chins. I think it's like more than one chin, but it actually does resemble the profile of an older man laying down.
Yeah, it does.
Just a little interesting thing. You kind of have to be going up 105 out of Boone to see it from that angle, but it really does look that way. So
I would think they would have a picture of it somewhere up here.
They probably do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. So we're now stopped at the Grandfather Mountain Wilson Center for Nature Discovery. This is also the animal habitat and the botanical garden. So we're gonna go in the museum, I guess, first.
Check it out, see what's in there.
So let's go in. All right, so we've just stepped in the Wilson Center for Nature Discovery. And I don't remember it being all this extensive here, but they got Mildred's Grill. That's named after Mildred the bear. And looks like they got a photo op right here. Over there would be the cafe.
Looks like a little gift
Little
shop.
gift shop, souvenir shop.
Show is good.
So over here they have some jams and jellies. Looks like they got strawberry, blackberry, cherry, pumpkin, apple, blueberry, peach, and orange marmalade. And up here they got honeys. Now show them this little
This one's avocado. Now, I don't understand. Honey wheat.
honey buckwheat.
I'm sorry. Star thistle, sage, alfalfa.
So those are some honeys.
Cranberry.
You don't cranberry. Yeah, the avocado, that probably sounds about like the worst tasting honey. Now I may love it, but I don't like avocados. You do. This is an avocado eater right here.
I love them. I can eat
I don't
them
eat
all.
nothing slimy.
They're not slimy.
Yes, they are. The orange blossom. I've had orange blossom honey. But
Blueberry.
honey blueberry. There's some neat. How much are those? I bet those are through the roof.
The prices
high.
are right up there in that little
okay.
frame.
So, let's see if I can even read that.
$10.99.
Wow. But to get some unique flavors, and they've got the Dutch kettle jams and marmalades. I've seen those in a lot of places, like Amish stores. And they got, I like this stuff here, smoked pickled bologna. I love that. There's the red hot. I've had that, actually. All kinds of neat stuff. Pickled eggs, pickled beans. And over here is Mildred's Grill. If you're hungry and want you something to eat, you can get it in there. We don't know, huh?
Go in the gift shop.
Yeah, let's go in here, the gift shop. So it looks like they have some genuine animal paintings there. That looks like something I'd paint. That looks like, is that paw prints?
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
There'd be a bear print. They do better than I do. Shaughnessy has some artistic talent. Your mother had some
Mom had a lot.
artistic talent. In fact, one of our trips this summer is going to be of a place that your mom loved. We're not going to say right now where it is. We don't know if she ever visited, but a lot of her paintings reflected it.
Yeah.
So here's that's beautiful there, beautiful ornament.
That's pretty.
Then they got little informational brochures. T-shirts. If you are a worker of jigsaw puzzles, there's some jigsaw puzzles at Grandfather Mountain, Blue Ridge Parkway. You've seen that scene there in many of our videos. That's Price Lake with Grandfather Mountain in the background. There's the swinging bridge. We'll be up there in a minute. Magnets, little books, selection of T-shirts, and walk on towards the back here. Little stuffed bears, wolves, coyotes, otters. Is he soft?
Very. You can build you a bear, an otter, or a cardinal.
Nice.
That dog been hold up the mountain and then come out of it.
Some more ornaments right here. And some very pretty designs. There's a swinging bridge. Now, it's not windy here. I don't know if it's going to be windy, but usually the way that bridge spans those two peaks right there, that wind really whips up right there. Maybe it won't be today. So I guess the last thing we're going to do here is walk through the little display museum area, I guess. I don't know which way you're supposed to go first. Let's try this way first. We'll cut right down the middle. So this tells you a little bit about the flowers and the fauna and the different climatic zones and the different types of trees. We are in a spruce fir forest up here where there's more evergreens than there are hardwoods. And that's what you get. Pretty much about 4,500 feet, it starts transitioning. And we're almost, well, right here we're over 5,000 feet. But there's a profile of the mountain, and you see how the Blue Ridge Parkway runs along the side of the mountain. You can see Grandfather Mountain from our town if you go up to Highway 321, and that's the profile that you see right there from that angle. So I guess these are things the life of this tree saw, well, not saw, but was around for. I didn't know that. A child in Midland, North Carolina, 1799, discovers a 17-pound gold nugget. Can you imagine just being outside playing and finding that?
Wow. That's
First documented gold in the United States. That I did not know. I knew 1903, the Wright brothers achieved flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, so that's why we were called first in flight. And Ohio calls itself the birthplace of aviation because I guess the Wright brothers were from Ohio. So they kind of like to share the honors there, and that's fine. But they did come here to fly.
I remember Hurricane Hugo.
You were here. I was in Florida at college then. Mm-hmm. But we don't get hurricanes here. Hurricanes rarely ever come this far inland. We get maybe a little bit of wind, 20-mile-an-hour wind and rain. Hurricane Hugo came up off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, and had a northwest track. And by the time it got to Caldwell County, it was like 73-mile-an-hour winds, which is one shy of a hurricane. It had become downgraded to a tropical storm, but it's still
a lot of damage.
Y'all were without power for a while.
Days.
11. Wow.
Yeah.
And I was in Florida, and we missed it. But I remember talking to family at home. 11 days without power. So I saw a little theater. Yeah, here it explains some of the various elevations and what kind of trees you'll see. So once you hit 3,000 feet, you get into the boulder field forest. And obviously the higher you go, the more severe the weather becomes. If you've ever seen trees growing out of rocks, that's an amazing phenomenon to me.
It is.
There's just so little dirt there. They grow in bare rock. Whiteside Mountain was an example of that. They have little outcroppings on Whiteside Mountain.
Yes.
Watch our video on Whiteside Mountain from last fall. One of the prettiest places we've ever been in the fall. Mm-hmm. You can see on the side of the mountain trees just growing out of it.
Yeah, and then the flowering bushes in the rocks
are
always beautiful too.
So spruce fir forest, yep. I said about 4,500 feet, maybe 4,800 feet. So now we're descending again. That's why some of your best fall colors are seen at that elevation there. Because those are the ones that turn. All right, so what do we got over here?
It's a tree tumor.
A tree tumor.
It's some type of bacterium that gets into the tree.
Wow.
And it makes it grow too fast.
I'm just going to zoom up on that. If you want to pause and read that, feel free. Try to get a little closer. So this is something to do with the wind. So what are you doing?
I'm sticking this cloth in it. Watch it go through the things.
Oh, there it is. Do that again. Yep, and here we go. Good catch. Oh, there it comes. I didn't even see that one come out. Do that one again. Try to back up a little bit. It goes so fast you can hardly, yep, there it comes. Nice. So, I guess this is also the corny joke wall.
Leave me alone. Blue. So that just tells you about the wind, how strong it usually is up here.
Oh, I want to show this little film strip right here. It showed a pretty snow scene, so I guess I'll have to wait till it comes back around.
So
The blizzard of 93. That was just in one day. They got a lot more than that. It snowed a couple of days.
Oh yeah, but that's just in one day.
We were just talking about the blizzard of 93 from the walking park the other night.
Here, walking park, yep.
There's the swinging bridge that we're going to be at here in a little bit. Let's stick around for that climate report.
That's pretty.
Yes, it is.
The earliest snowfall was
September 10th. That's still summer, folks.
Look at the trees, how they're blown.
Now, Grandfather would get a lot more snow than it does if not for Beech Mountain set behind it. Beech Mountain nets even higher snow, even though it's a little bit lower than Grandfather. Because I guess the storms hit Beech Mountain and are kind of weakened a little bit by the time they cross, but still substantial snow up here.
Latest snow was May 27th.
I don't know if you can come up here when there's heavy snow or not. I don't know if they.
Probably
I don't know if
not.
it's seasonal or if it's open all year.
I don't know. Ooh, that's pretty.
So there's the largest amethyst ever found in North America, and that comes from a place you actually used to live.
Yeah, Iron Station.
Was that one of the first places you lived when y'all moved down here from Minnesota?
Yeah,
Okay,
and that's
y'all.
where kindergarten
Oh,
was
you
in
betcha.
Iron Station. You know it.
Don't you know? I'm sorry, don't you know?
Don't you know?
So I guess that concludes the walk through the museum display.
Guys, we're going to do this stuff outside.
This way. This way.
Yeah, this way.
So Shaughnessy had walked barefoot up here when they were first putting the sidewalk down. They asked her not to, but she did anyway, and they just left it there. And here are some more tracks leading down to the habitat named in honor of Mildred the bear. For years, even the Grandfather Mountain commercial that used to come on TV showed Mildred the bear. She's been gone for a while now. I think she had a couple of cubs up here. But we're gonna walk down here and not sure what all they have. I hope they still have.
I think they have bear and cougars and probably like.
Right, so which one do we want to see first?
I'll see the bear.
But what in the world is that?
That
Oh,
guy.
it's that guy. Never mind. That's
Everybody stops.
a person. We have a person habitat up here.
Oh, they got an eagle.
Yep, that's a big old eagle there.
Yeah.
So the otters, the bears are over here. So
Hold on, let me get a picture of the eagle before we go.
I might as well go ahead too. Oh, he's spreading his wings.
Where?
Right
Oh,
there.
that one. The other
I got
one
a tree blocking it too. Try to get over there. He is no longer spreading his wings now. Let's see if we can get a little closer. He had his wings spread out all real pretty just a minute ago. I wish I could have gotten that.
They don't go like
Respond
that.
to that.
That's a crow. They're not responding with me.
How do you know?
Good looking bird right there.
Where's the bear? No, there's one. Come on, please walk with me.
I wish he would do that again. That eagle is flying around in there. He cannot figure out which perch he wants to be on. There's another one right here. He seems pretty satisfied where he's at.
You see, I got a nice shady one. I'm staying right here. Go up to the right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but the other one that I was just filming, he's way back yonder now. He's been flying around a little bit.
Carly, right now. All right, let's leave.
You see a bear?
I'm trying to come over here.
Yeah, we do not have a very good view, but I'll try to zoom up here. It's the only one I see. I'd say there's more than one.
Right under the tree.
I hope I am getting that.
Right there.
See right under the tree.
So I want to
The
see.
other one you can see through, all the way down through one of the rocks. Okay.
Looks like down there might be like a little den or a shelter for them. Don't see the other one. I'm glad they got at least a good habitat here, like a lot of space.
Yeah, they do.
Some of the places in Cherokee and Pigeon Forge that you go see the bear, their conditions are atrocious, to be honest with
kind
you.
of sad.
I understand that a lot of these bears are rescued, maybe couldn't survive, but you know, give them a good living environment. This one here looks at least very spacious.
There is a lot of room when you look back down
Yeah,
that
a
way
lot.
too.
So I'm glad to see that. All right, so let's walk back up here. There was a sign, bear facts. So let's look at some facts about bears.
Walk around, it might
Now,
water.
this is why you should always have a hiking buddy with you, because bears can run 35 miles an hour, and the average human jogs at 8 miles an hour. Do the math, he's going to catch you. So you want to always take somebody with you hiking and make sure they're slower than you are,
Which I'd be the slow
because you
one.
can't outrun the bear. You just need to outrun. I don't know, you could probably outrun me, but you ain't going to outrun the bear, but you can outrun the person you're with. So anyhow, right here we got the otter habitat. He just ran down there into that little shady area.
There's a sea otter right there. There's a sea otter right
I don't see another one. I would imagine that's not the only one.
No, you'd think there'd be.
He's the only one.
Looks like there's a little inside viewing area
There,
too.
he's coming over to give it.
Is he coming over?
whatever.
There he is, Elk.
There he goes.
There he is.
Looks like a beaver. I said sea otter.
Look, Stella, you see it right there?
Sea otter. Yeah.
It's an otter.
Yeah, that's all I can see.
Family, watch out so Stella can see.
I'm a beaver.
Look, Stella. Look. You see it right there? Here it goes. Look right here.
They make YouTube.
So we are now going to see some cougar, hopefully. So do not tease or yell at the cougars.
Maybe it's a
And I don't see a cougar. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't make them show up. Kind of want to see them myself. There's a little information. I don't see a cougar in there. I don't know where they are.
Oh, yeah. How can he not get out?
Probably one of the few things that can catch a deer, I guess. They can, that's interesting. They can leap vertically up to 18 feet. Wow. I knew they could run, didn't know they could jump that high. So we're now at the elk habitat. Neither the cougar nor the bear really wanted to be seen today. And if you want to see elk by the hundreds, go to Cherokee out there by the Oconaluftee Visitor Center in the evenings or mornings, or to Cataloochee Valley near Maggie Valley. That's where you'll see elk.
So they're 700 pounds apiece. And they also hunted them for these two teeth that they have in their mouths that are made of ivory. And ivory was and is a very valuable commodity. And so somebody could make a lot of money off of just those two teeth in the elk's mouth. So recently, there have been some reintroduction efforts done in the state of North Carolina. So about 25 elk were introduced in early 2000s into Great Smoky Mountain National Park. And that herd has grown significantly. It's now about 150 to 200 just within the park. And then there are more elk that have migrated away down into Cherokee and also over into Tennessee. So they're definitely making a comeback in this area.
Back out on the road, and we are making our way slowly and surely up to the swinging bridge. We spent a lot of time at the wildlife habitat. So the swinging bridge will commence the end of the trip up, and we'll show you around up there. I know there used to be a little gift shop up there. I think this might be Forrest Gump Curve. This looks like what I've seen.
I don't see no little sign.
I do not either. I'm not sure that this is even it, but I just think it was a little more open than back there. So I don't know, folks.
But
anyway, there is a 5-second clip in the movie that was filmed right here somewhere.
So if you know the movie and you recognize
Right here it is.
Oh, okay.
Forrest Gump picnic area. How about that?
There you go.
So let's go slow on that. Let me get that sign at least. People are occupying the table, but this is the Forrest Gump picnic area where...
Oh, here's the actual sign.
Yeah. Forrest Gump ran this curve. Hold on. A pull off. Is there a pull off somewhere?
Not seeing one.
I gotta go back and get that sign.
Maybe on.
All right, folks, there it is. This is the curve that Forrest Gump ran in the movie, and when these cars go by, I'll go out in the road a little bit and let you see the actual curve that's in the movie. And there she be. So, yeah, old Forrest went right up that road right there, that section. So right here is a nice little open picnic area with some rocks to go up and look at, but to be very careful on. A little grill actually right there, picnic area. And I imagine the view from those rocks is pretty good, but we're gonna go on up to the swinging bridge now. And that little area right there, very nice, just past the Forrest Gump curve, actually right at the end of it. You can see the Black Mountains in the distance, Mount Mitchell. We'll identify some peaks once we get up to the top. All right, so we are now reaching 5,000 feet in elevation.
And look at all the
Yeah.
cars lined
Oh,
up
my
for
goodness.
parking. Wow.
You can walk to the swinging bridge from here, and I'm wondering if we're not going to have to come back down here and park, because there's a line just to get up in there. I'll bet you that's what we're going to have to do.
Is that a line to get in, or is that people parked along the side?
Going up to the left there is the line, so hope we find something. We'll see. We are not going to be able to drive up to the top, so there is a walking path through the woods. It's 0.4 miles, just under half a mile to the top. And it's just warm enough that we're not comfortable leaving them in the vehicle. They might be okay, but we are taking them. Unfortunately, we can't stroll them up there because the path is gravel and roots and rocks. So we're going to be carrying them. There's no signs that says you can't, and I see other people with theirs. So they probably would be okay down here, but I'm just not going to chance it because it was getting just a tad stuffy inside the vehicle. Very nice and cool outside of it. So anyway, being good pet owners that we are, we're going to try to keep them as comfortable as we can. So I got me a little companion right here in my arms, and he's excited. All right, so here's the trail, 0.4 miles to the top, and they do ask that you be back to your vehicle by 5. All right, so here's the trail. No way are we pushing a stroller. This part might have been okay, but
Yeah, when I saw those rocks, I was like, well, you ain't taking that.
that wasn't going to happen. It would have been nice and convenient to have had, but we'll probably just have to go look at separate times out on the rocks and the bridge, if they're not allowed on the bridge. And I don't know that to be the case yet, but I would imagine not. So it's a really good thing we didn't bring that dog stroller, because this is the trail now. So Shaughnessy had mentioned the possibility of us doing a hike today. I didn't really bring hiking boots, but we are doing a hike. This is actually, looks just like a hiking trail.
It is.
We're about halfway up. It's not bad. A little bit steep. We have to basically gain about 200, 300 feet in 0.4 miles. So not too bad, but just had something funny kind of happen. There was a lady coming down the path as we're coming up, and I'm carrying him. She was carrying Renoir. He's on the ground now. And she says out loud, she says, "Oh, look at the cute little dogs." And her phone goes off and says, "I'm sorry, I did not understand." She goes, "I'm not talking to you," just like that. So, didn't she?
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So apparently her phone picked up her voice, and I tell you, phones these days, man.
I know.
But anyhow, thought that was funny because she was talking to us.
And her phone, yeah.
And then she kind of scolded her phone, so that was funny. But I've scolded my phone a few times too, so I understand. But let's go on.
All right.
All right, up there is the first glimpse we're getting of the swinging bridge, and you might can hear it. I don't know if you can since we're using the microphones, but it's squealing and squeaking back and forth. So that's where we'll be in a minute. So this is what we're hearing below the swinging bridge. Interesting. Folks, never having had to hike to the top before and always being able to drive up, this is something I never would have known. I didn't know the swinging bridge went right over this chasm where the trail's at, but kind of glad I got to show this perspective here, because that's anchored right into those rocks. Okay, so that was a pretty good little 0.4 mile walk. It was just the same as any hiking trail. It wasn't like a little path. It was rocks, roots, and honestly, if I had known that, I would have brought my hiking boots.
Yeah, I didn't have.
I'm in tennis shoes, and
Yeah.
I don't ever
I didn't have
hike with tennis shoes. That's just not very bright. There's too many ways to twist your ankle and hurt yourself in tennis shoes. So had I known that, I would have packed my hiking boots. We've never had, but we are here at the parking lot, pan around here and show. This is where we had thought we were going to be parking. There's actually an empty space.
Yeah, there was like that huge line that he was showing. So I guess they're slowly letting people up here.
So over there, when you see that little sign, that sign way out there, that's actually part of the Grandfather Mountain hiking trails to the summit. There's the profile trail, and then there's the one we did. Is that called like Boone Fork to Nawalk Trail?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good little hike up to the summit, but the views up there are amazing. Don't waste your time on a cloudy day, but on a clear day, it's amazing.
Yeah, the day that we went together, it was
You couldn't see your hand in front of you
And
hardly.
it actually started raining.
But I went back by myself
Yeah,
in
'cause I had to work.
2022. Yeah. And beautiful views up there. So we're going to go inside the little gift shop now, and we're going to finish at the swinging bridge. So up here at the top, there is, of course, the swinging bridge, and there is what's called the top shop. They have restrooms. There's actually an elevator. I'll show you the sign in a moment. You don't have to walk the stairs to the bridge. You can take an elevator to it, but we're going to walk the stairs. And you can get snacks and souvenirs. So be showing you around inside of there in a moment. We've got Renwar tied to this pole right here, and I was going to stay out here with the dogs while you went in the shop. So I hear you talking over somebody. So apparently somebody recognized and said they follow and watch us on YouTube
And Facebook.
So that's always neat. Now what was interesting was I heard that, so I started to walk over there. So I kind of leave Renwar here, and then a guy comes up to my left and says, I want to speak to you. I thought he worked here. He's going to tell me you can't leave your dog tied like that, but he actually watches us as well. So he was going to talk to us. You saw the guy in the, it turns out it's an App State shirt. I thought it was somebody that worked here. So I'm talking to one, and they're not even together, and you're talking to another. But anyway, we do want to give a shout out to some subscribers. You said David and April.
Yes, and they're from Kentucky.
I thought they live here now. I think maybe she's from.
Oh, maybe that's what she
mentioned
said.
Mike and Karen from Fridays Forever
Yeah.
up around Big Stone. She said that I think maybe she's from that area.
Yeah, the Kentucky side.
But it's just always exciting. We love it when people come up to us and recognize us. And so far, everybody that has been nice. And
Super nice.
Yeah, super nice. So I guess we haven't met any of our critics in person yet. So, but I enjoyed that. We enjoy we actually will put them in videos. I think they didn't really want to be in the video, but I do want to give them a shout out.
So what was his name? Does he follow on Facebook too?
The other guy?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I asked him his name because I'm not sure. If I see him in there again, I will. But yeah, it's just always fun to meet people that watch you on TV. And just want to give them a shout out and thank y'all for stopping us and talking to us for a minute. So I'm going to step inside the gift shop now.
Okay.
While you watch the dogs. I won't take as long.
I didn't take long.
So let's step inside the little top shop. That's what it's called up here because it's at the top and it's a shop. So I guess that makes sense. All kinds of shirts, long sleeve and short sleeve. And I like that one right there with a swinging bridge on it. I never met a mountain I didn't like, that's the truth. So if you want you a t-shirt souvenir of your trip to Grandfather Mountain, they'll fix you right up. And you can get a shirt to show your accomplishment. So this is also a good place if you're going to hike the profile trail to pick you up a backpack. There's some hiking supplies, a compass, binoculars, emergency blanket. And just a word about hiking here, this is the most rugged mountain in the eastern United States. You do want to be careful. So some of the same stuff I saw in the other gift shop as well, but I guess that's the elevator up to the bridge. Alright, so just want to give you kind of an overview. You can get you some taffy, some refreshments, drinks. I don't guess they serve food up here, just packaged, I guess. Okay, so we will conclude this video with a visit to the swinging bridge. We are going to take the stairs. You can take an elevator, which is inside the gift shop. But we are going to head on up there now and show you the view that you get from up here. All right, so guys, if you want to give your wife flowers, this ain't the place to get them. Now, something I want to point out, this is true of a lot of peaks in these mountains. Notice how those trees are bent one way. Do you know why that is?
The wind.
The wind up here is intense. Not today. It is not windy today. In fact, we both agreed we should wear microphones because of the wind. There's not any wind to speak of. So that's a rarity for up here. To be honest with you, I've never been up here when it wasn't windy until today. But just show you a little bit of the vegetation and the stunted trees. Notice the trees don't get very tall up here either.
कैसे वो हवा से उड़ते हुए लगे उनकी शक्ल ही ऐसी होगी हवा से उड़ते हैं
So we got some sort of lake way down there in the valley, looking over at Sugar Mountain and the resort there on top of it. But again, look at what the wind does to those trees right there.
I think I have a pea pot on it.
Yeah. That's where we're headed, over there to the... Here, can you hold him a second so I can zoom? I got one free hand, sorry y'all. So I'm gonna zoom up to where we're gonna be. That rocky outcropping over there, you want to be very careful over there. Okay, so this is why they call it the Mile High Swinging Bridge. You are 2 feet above a mile above sea level right here. All right, here we go, onto the swinging bridge. And you do want to watch your footing, I'll say that, because it does rock a little bit. So here's off to this side. So let's swing around to this side. Please hold him just a minute, he's wiggling. I don't want him going off of here. All right, I'll hold him tight then. All right, so looking back down into the valley where we live, a little hazy, but I see High Brighton Mountain in Lenore, and panning the lower elevations. Notice how green they are down there. And the only thing green up here really is the evergreen trees. And there is one of the peaks of Grandfather Mountain. So let's have another look at that. So don't climb on the edge of the bridge, and watch your children and your pets, please. The view here is looking out at Roan Mountain, Carver's Gap area. I see the Grassy Ridge Bald, along with Jane Bald and Round Bald. So Roan Mountain is a beautiful area in June, especially with the rhododendrons. I highly encourage you to find out when they're going to be peak and go out there.
No, she's not down. I just got a Bible.
Try that again. I don't think I was too steady last time. Okay, you definitely want to watch your footing. You can easily turn an ankle here. So, just trying to take a step at a time. So down there, we're looking at the Blue Ridge Parkway. That is the Beacon Heights overlook where we actually did our intro this morning from. So I'm kind of trying to figure out things. And over there is Highway 221 going back over towards Blowing Rock. And then the Blue Ridge Parkway again. And right there, you can just about see where it has turned spring and where it hasn't. The Highway 221, it hasn't. Then going down to the valley, you see the green. I always love looking at the various seasons from a high point like this, because you can just see in the fall especially, and now in the spring coming in. Spring's in full force where we live. It's not even started really up here. And again, this is, I can't stress this point enough, this is a rugged mountain. It is a sheer drop off. You can fall to your death from here. It's the only way I know to put it. And I was not expecting to find one of these, but I always like it when I do. Let me try to get out of it. It's going to pick up the shadow of the camera. It's a geological survey marker. So, just going to show you a little bit from right here. I'm going to zoom up on the Black Mountains and Mount Mitchell, which is the highest point in the eastern United States. And it is plainly visible through the haze from here. That is the Black Mountain Range. That is the highest mountain range in the east. It's a short one. It's only 16 miles from one end to the other.
Try to do the.
Birthday song.
And this is just about as far as you can go.
Open this door. I opened this door. I made the choice once.
Okay, folks, we hope y'all enjoyed this view of Grandfather Mountain. We decided this is a great spot to do our closeout. I can't even see my screen well enough to know if we're in the video. I think I see us.
I think I see us.
It's very bright. Wish I had gotten the one with the viewfinder. If you watched our review on this camcorder, you heard me express that regret, and I've never meant it more than I do now. But anyway, what'd you think of coming up here to Grandfather Mountain, one of North Carolina's top scenic attractions?
It is beautiful, and it's a nice clear day. I just hate we couldn't park up here at the top
Yeah.
because it's usually cold, much colder and windy, and I have a tank top, t-shirt, and this sweatshirt, and I'm hot and sweaty, and every once in a while I get a nice cool breeze, but not enough.
Yeah.
So.
The wind up here is usually
All over the
strong.
place,
It's
yeah.
not bad at all today. So,
Ended up being a great day to come.
yeah, this is the kind of place you really, if you can leave your pet at home, you want to.
But it is pet friendly.
It is pet friendly, but I mean, if your dog's big enough on a leash, they can handle it, that's fine, but we are having to carry ours. We did not have the option to leave them at home because we overnighted last night in Blowing Rock. If we had just come up for the day, we could have left them at home. So that would be what we would do next time probably. But since, you know, like I say, we didn't have that option last night, so we're making do with what we got. But yeah, it's beautiful up here. You can see into Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina. So 3-state view from up here. And you can hear the swinging bridge at times, and you can see the peak behind you, one of the peaks. But anyway, this mountain sits just under 6,000 feet at its highest point. We're just over a mile right here.
Yeah, on the bridge it actually has the mile marker on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great place to come. Great
Yeah.
place. So if you're anywhere close by, definitely this is worth a come.
Absolutely. Just be careful, especially if you have small children. And I would not advise anybody getting near the edge of these rocks.
Yeah, you have to be very careful.
Yeah, but there's plenty of space. I mean, it's safe as long as you watch.
Yep.
So anyway, thank y'all for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe,
And follow us on Facebook.
and have a blessed day.